Do you have a hard time believing, trusting, or having faith that your desires are promised and that they are actually on their way? There is a really good logical reason for this, and I want to share with you what I shared for years in my therapy practice when I worked with different people, singles and couples, and how I helped them overcome this issue of trust. So stick with me, because this is going to be very helpful. If you are new, my name is Rose. I am a confidence and success coach, and I love to help people find their own way to have the life that they dream of on their terms, the way that they want it, not just settling for something that you don't want. If you're interested in working with me, you can go to TheRoseyLife.com. You can sign up to work with me one-on-one, or you can join my Badass Confidence community and course, where you start off with 12 lessons. Actually, there's more now because I've added more. And you will also join me every Wednesday live, where I come in and do a little bit more teaching, and I answer your questions live. And those are all recorded. So if you're in a different time zone than when we meet, you always have access to those. And you have access to a beautiful, loving, supportive community that is all full of success stories already, and they continue to see and wake up and step into their power, not with effort, not with trying, not with really like beating themselves up, but they're really seeing that this requires little effort. Transformation is not about effort. It is about allowing and receiving and becoming. And that is very different than the things that you may have learned already about trying really hard to have things your way. So if you're interested, go to TheRoseyLife.com, and the info is below. So let's get back to trust is a choice. So when I worked as a psychotherapist, as many of you know that I did this for over a decade, I worked with many people. I worked with couples, individuals, teens, even children. And what I had to do is I learned to speak to all different ages, as small as 4 years old, all the way up into people in their 80s, and couples of many different walks of life. And I had to help and learn how to speak to people about what trust really is. A lot of people would come to me with trust issues, and they would say that they couldn't trust their partner or their boss or friends or just social, gatherings or people or communities or government, all kinds of things. Okay, so this isn't about putting anyone down. This isn't about blame. So what I had to do is I had to learn how to speak to all these different ages and all these different people from different cultures and walks of life with religious beliefs and views. And I really had to take that into all account when I was speaking to them, which is what I do when I work with you one-on-one, is why I love doing my not longer 90-day coaching with people. And because I really get to know you. And once I get to know you, then I know how to speak to you. And it's very individual, okay? Everything is individual, because you're not going to just be thrown into the masses and everyone learns the same way. Like this is what a lot of people argue about school, right? Is you throw a bunch of kids in a classroom and then you expect everyone to learn the same way. Well, that's just not possible, because we're all so different. So be patient with yourself on this journey of waking up and stepping into your power, because it is all possible, and everyone is just going to come into their own aha moments in the different ways, okay? So let's get back to trust. Why I had to learn how to speak to different people, different ways about trust, I had to take into account the holistic, right? Their wholeness of their life, of who they are, not just this is how it is and just accept it already, which is what I hear a lot on different YouTube channels. And what I want you to know is, if you have struggled with trust in your life, like with family, with religion, with cultures, with jobs, bosses, partners, siblings, friends, And let's say that you have experienced trust being broken and you haven't been able to figure out how to regain trust or reestablish trust with certain people in your life, or trust in yourself. Like if you're dieting and you're exercising and you're not seeing results, or you don't trust yourself around peanut butter or ice cream in the house, all of these things, right? Trust comes up in so many different ways. And if you have noticed in your personal life that you have struggled with trust, and then all of a sudden you come across into Neville, to law of attraction, law of assumption, all of these teachings, and then you're told just to trust, just to have faith, do you see why you're going to kind of look at it like, well, I haven't figured out how to trust in my personal experience in all these things, and all of a sudden I'm just supposed to throw everything to the wind and just say, yes, I trust that my desires are a promise, and yes, I can have whatever I want, right? So here's the thing, okay? Trust, a lot of people, and you may or may not resonate with this, is a lot of people here, you walk around saying little sayings, okay? These are stories that you tell yourself. So this is what I want. This is how you change this, okay? I want you to pay attention to the stories that you tell yourself. For example, this is a very common one, that trust is earned, not given, right? I used to be one of those people, and I no longer believe that, right? That trust is to be earned, not given, right? And that once you break your trust, it's done. Do you see this? I want you to think about these stories that you may tell yourself. I used to believe those things, and I no longer believe those, right? Now I know better. And I used to be so offended if someone lied to me. I would get really hurt and offended. I thought, that's it, that's over, you broke my trust, right? And that was such a big deal to me. And my world was expressing that to me so that I can experience that. And so I had to let that go, and I no longer believe those things. Now I know, because of who I am and who you all are. You are the infinite, unlimited creator of your own reality, that you are calling all the shots in your life. No one is deciding for you, that you decide what you want to experience. You're not begging, pleading, chasing, asking. It's, again, the analogy of any royalty, right? King or queen. They don't ask, they command and declare and say, this is how it is. And they don't say it with anger. Well, a lot of them don't, but maybe in a lot of drama, royalty shows they do, but they just say it and assume that it's going to be handled and taken care of, and say, that's all, you can go now, go do what I asked you to do. But not with anger or cockiness or anything. They just no, they know that will be obeyed out of the loyalty to the kingdom, to the throne, to the realm, whatever. So they just assume that everyone respects the same principle. So when you speak, you're deciding, you're saying, I decide, this is what I choose. This is what I choose that I am going to experience now. And that is a decision, okay? So is trust. And this is what I want you to really get from this. Trust, faith, belief is all a choice, okay? It's all a choice. And in fact, it goes much deeper than that. It is actually already built into you. Faith, trust, belief. It's already in you. It's already who you are. Because remember, you are everything. And when I say trust is a choice, you are choosing to gaze your awareness on that fact that you are already faith. You are already trust. You are already belief. And so you are just choosing to look at that fact, that deeper part of you, that it is there, that you are able to trust. And even if in the moment you don't feel like you have faith, it's okay. Just a simple awareness, your decision to put your gaze on that who you are, is enough. It's enough. And you continuously choose to have faith. I choose to believe. I choose to trust. And you continuously, when you feel doubt and when you feel like you don't, you say, that's okay. That's who I used to be. But I am now this person. I am now putting my eyes on the fact that I am trusting and I am believing and I do have faith. And you don't have to initially feel anything. You just want to continuously choose it. Because when you put awareness on anything as I am, that is what you are breathing life into, and it must respond to you. So you don't have to worry about if you're feeling it immediately or not. You just keep deciding it, you keep choosing it, you keep putting your awareness on it that you do trust. And circling back to when I worked with people in therapy sessions and couples, I also taught them, not in a metaphysical way, right? But this was before it came into the laws, that I would ask them, I'm like, you choose to trust, because I would ask them and they said, well, no, like if the husband or the wife or the parent or the child would say, no, they have to earn it because they did X, Y, Z and they broke my trust. And I said, okay, well, at what point, this is the funny part, at what point will you know it's time to trust? And the answer was one of two. It was either a deer in the headlights look, like they'd say, I don't know. Or the other answer was, I'll feel it. I'll just know it. I'll feel it. I'll know when it's okay to trust again. And then I said, well, how are you ever going to measure or get to the point that you're going to feel it? What are the logistics involved here? What can this person do to show that you can trust them again? And they never had an answer, or there would be this long list of things. And I said, well, if they did all of those things, would you trust them? And they would say, I don't know. I would have to feel it. Do you see? It's an eternal hole of never ever being fulfilled. Why? Because it's not a choice. They're waiting for a feeling or waiting for something to happen that they don't even know clearly what it is, and that at that point then they'll feel like they can trust. Do you see? So that kept them stuck in these relationships, or these ill relationships that they didn't want to be in, and that clearly both people wanted to get back into that point of trusting each other again, because none of us want to be in anger or hate or in things, right? It's just you want to come to a place of trust, but most people don't know how. And when I would bring this to their attention, I would ask them, so how long do you plan to keep this person like crucified or punished? And like, how long do you think this is going to last? And they would say, I don't know. And then I said, well, how is that going to work? And this is when it became very clear to them that they had to choose if they were going to trust this person or not. And it's not how many times you trust. It's like the Bible talks a lot about 70 times 7, right? But it's not 490. It just means you continuously do it, right? But if you see this person as untrustworthy and you say, I don't trust them, or I'm going to trust them, but I don't believe that I can trust them. Do you see? That doesn't work either. You have to choose that I can trust this person, that this person is trustworthy. Now let's go back to the metaphysical side of you. Choosing to trust in your higher self, your I am, right? You are building the precedence. You are building the model of all relationships. When you create trust in your I am, when you create trust in your higher self, the universe within you, there's nothing outside of you, it's all within you. When you create that relationship with your higher self, the 3D version of you with the higher self, when you create that trust by choice, and you continuously choose to trust, even when it feels scary, even when you feel doubt, you will eventually feel that trust, because you will start seeing the evidence of it, and you will know immediately what is happening. That your choice in your choice to choose to trust your higher self, the thing that you cannot see, the thing that you cannot touch, the thing that you can't put your hands on, you are choosing to trust that inner being within you. That is setting precedence for all relationships in your life now, because now you know that trust is a choice, and trust comes only by choosing to trust in the unseen, what you don't have evidence of yet. And it will come. Just like Neville says, if it be long, wait, it is sure to come. And you will be able to know how to have these beautiful, trusting relationships with all the people in your life. All people in your life. Because you will now know you have the power to decide that you will trust. Because you know that in the doing so, you get what you want. I know that this video was helpful for you, and I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below, and I love you guys, and thank you so much for your support and your love for my channel and The Rosey Life. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.